Let's talk about something a little secretive. The world of Rolex Authorized Dealers and the sneaky little ways they conduct business. Now, you might not know this, but these places are like the secret rooms of the Rolex realm, packed with little-known facts and exclusive practices that are usually kept under wraps. Luckily for you, we're here to give a peek behind the curtain. For any Rolex fan, it's going to be quite the reveal, kind of like finding out there's a hidden compartment in your favorite watch. So without further ado, let's get into it. You see, becoming an authorized Rolex dealer is quite the affair. It's less about making sales and more like being welcomed into luxury royalty. These people aren't picked randomly. They're carefully chosen for their dedication and deep connection to the essence of Rolex. They need to be well versed in the brand's history, keep up its spotless reputation, and yes, they've got some pretty ambitious sales targets to meet. And whether it's a sleek submariner or a classy yachtmaster, each watch tells a story. When you walk into a Rolex store, you're stepping into a carefully orchestrated game. It starts with the friendly junior staff, who are pros at making small talk, setting the stage. But the senior sales team? They're the real puppet masters. They finesse their way through deals, sometimes even teaming up with the grey market to keep things moving smoothly. So while you might feel like an important folk in the vast world of Rolex, remember, you're not the only one drawn to the sparkle. The real stars of the show are the dealers, always in the limelight and constantly striving for perfection. Apparently, getting the nod as an authorized Rolex dealer isn't a walk in the park. It comes with jumping through some serious hoops, including hitting some tough sales targets. Ever notice how trying to buy a Rolex like the much-loved Daytona feels more like a treasure hunt than a straightforward shopping trip? That's not just because everyone wants one. There's a whole game being played behind the scenes. Now these dealers are sifting through the crowd, picking out the serious buyers from the window shoppers. They set up shop in places where they can attract the right kind of clientele and hit those ambitious sales figures. And then there's the shadowy side of things in the grey market. These guys scoop up watches from the authorized dealers and sell them to those who didn't get their hands on one the usual way. Digging a bit deeper, trade-ins at authorized Rolex dealerships are really valuable tools. They're more than just transactions. They're used to draw in the big spenders and get a foot in the door of an elite club. And despite what many think, prices aren't always fixed. Especially for those hot ticket items, there's definitely wiggle room to negotiate. Then there's the legendary waiting lists, almost like urban legends in themselves. Getting on one of these lists is a mix of loyalty, savvy, and plain old luck. And let's not forget about those ultra-exclusive Rolex models that are kept under wraps, shown only to the kind of buyers who not only get their rarity, but also have the deep pockets to match. However, there's some insider info that dealers might not tell you outright. Being a Rolex dealer puts them in a sweet spot, handling a product more sought after than it is available. But honestly, you wouldn't want their job. We once chatted with a former Rolex dealer who told us dealing with desperate customers was the worst part of his day. Picture dealing with a crowd that's all after those fine Swiss watches. Surely, some of those interactions must be a handful. And it's funny how power can go to your head. There are a few dealers who, let's just say, might feel a bit too high and mighty. But hey, who are we to judge? But lucky for you, we can help you navigate the world of Rolex buying a bit better. Let's start with what not to say to an authorized dealer. Number 1, where's the best place to sell this? Wink, wink. You see, Rolex dealers aren't fans of flippers, people who buy watches only to resell them for a quick profit. It's frowned upon, especially if the dealers themselves aren't involved. And trust me, the people back in Switzerland keep an eye on this kind of thing. If they catch wind of it, not only could the customer end up on a blacklist, but the dealer could get a slap on the wrist too. There are whispers about some dealers and customers cutting side deals on the grey market for those hard-to-get models. But those are just rumours, kind of like the ones about Rolex playing favourites with their watches, though who really knows? Number 2, looking for a deal on a new Rolex Submariner with a black dial and bezel in oyster steel? Straight talk? No, discounts aren't really a thing at Rolex dealerships. They prefer customers who value the luxury and don't sweat the sticker price. People who are likely to be loyal, long-term buyers flaunting their timepiece rather than those looking to save a few bucks. Number 3. What about buying a Rolex like the day-date Trump wears? Can the warranty be transferred if I buy it second-hand? Good news for you. Yes, Rolex warranties can move to new owners. Say if you pick up a Submariner with a valid 5-year warranty and decide to sell it after 3 years, the next owner will still have 2 years of warranty bliss. But here's a little pro tip. If Rolex catches on that you're selling it off quickly, they might think you're flipping it for profit, which could get both you and the buyer in hot water. So while the warranty sticks, it's probably wise to enjoy your Rolex a bit longer before passing it on. That way, everyone stays happy, especially Rolex. Number 4. David Beckham has his own designer watches. Ever thought about making a Rolex smartwatch? In the world of high-end watches, Rolex picks its clientele carefully. They tend to steer clear of what Jonathan Swift, or in plainer terms, a mom, would call unsavory characters. So the idea of jumping into the smartwatch fray isn't something they'd rush into without a lot of thought. Number 5. I don't see what's so special about Rolex watches. If you're a big spender at a dealership, they might not mind too much if you're not caught up in the nuances of their watches. Loyalty has its perks, and a hefty purchase history can sometimes make up for a lack of enthusiasm about the finer details. Number 6. Can I think about it? When you're given a heads up that your Rolex finally arrived. Imagine if the dealer calls to say, "Great news, your watch is here." They expect you to be over the moon, ready to sprint over with your credit card in hand. If you hesitate or stall, you might lose your chance at the watch quicker than a race car slamming into the wall at 227 miles per hour. So it's best to show your excitement and commitment right away, or the opportunity might just zoom past you. Number 7. Kevin Hart's shopper backed out of buying this Rolex. Turns out it wasn't as cool as I thought. Honestly, if you decide not to buy, the dealer probably won't bat an eye. They know there's always someone else ready to jump at the chance. But just a warning, they might see your change of heart as a bit of a time drain. Sure, they've got all the time in the world, but they're not fans of dilly-dallying. Remember, Rolex dealers are never short on customers, nor do they tend to drop their high and mighty act anytime soon. It pays to watch your words around them, or if you prefer to avoid the ego, you might want to consider looking into the grey market or checking out some pre-owned pieces. Here at Opulent Oasis, we're more than a community. We're a gathering spot for those who appreciate life's luxuries. If this journey through the world of Rolex caught your interest, stay tuned for more. Keep exploring the opulent side of life and discovering its hidden gems.